Maplestory 2 is fun again. I'm making this video just because I feel like it. Since before the release of Maplestory 2, I was looking forward to the game. I had a lot of fun playing Chinese Maplestory 2, and I mean, it wasn't even as good of a system as GMS2 when it came out, but GMS2 had a lot of issues that I didn't notice when I was playing Chinese Maplestory 2 because I was just sort of screwing around. But when it came to actual progression, the game wasn't so fun. And if you just ignored progression completely, the game could actually be a lot of fun. There's a lot of people who've played it since release, just keeping their trophy score up and stuff like that. But now they've actually fixed progression. By the end of May, there will be no more issues with Maplestory 2. Pretty much, they're all gone. And there's a huge list of the things that they've changed. And I'm just going to read through every single one of them and explain them a bit if they need it. So the first thing is that they removed Fair Fight from all adventure dungeons. So now, every dungeon that you do, Chaos already didn't have Fair Fight. Every dungeon you do is going to be able to be done way faster. And that's really good for your trophy grind on the normal dungeons. And, hard dungeons are done quicker now too. So, that's the first amazing thing. Second is that they reduced World Boss HP by 60%. That makes grinding for green crystals way easier. And if there was enough people playing, you could grind world bosses for money. It would actually be a good thing to do. I remember people would go to Karkar Island when they remove Fair Fight by accident, and they just do all the world bosses every single hour in that area, and you'd actually get a lot of money from it. So it's up to the players to make that happen, but I don't think it will, because the game's not so alive anymore. But it's still alright, and reducing the world boss HP by 60%, I can actually solo a boss on my main for now, because I'm planning to main Striker, but I can solo a world boss in 10 minutes, and all I have is a plus 15 epic weapon. So the next thing is that they added traders ribbons to allow you to trade top tier equipment. So that's good for whales. And I mean, you can actually buy gear on the black market. I don't know how expensive it is. I haven't looked into that. But you can actually buy legendary stuff now. So I mean, it is it's sort of a way to cheat your way up to the top, but with everyone getting better weapons, it's gonna be easier to find a group that does Chaos Papulatus or something and get your own weapon without having to pay, or even just grinding the mesos to get that weapon. It's gonna be a lot better, and then you can do the raid without being weighing everyone down, which depends on who you meet, how they're gonna think about that. The next thing is that they added the fragment inventory tab to help reduce clutter, and then they've improved notifications to better protect legendary gear with epic bonus stats. They've improved the available quest window. I don't know what that means even. they've increased penalties for illegally buying mesos. So people are just gonna get straight up banned. That's kind of bad, actually. But I mean, they don't need to illegally buy mesos anymore because they added the meso market to improve the mobility of mesos. That means you can buy mesos with actual merit. Epic pets are now 6 times more likely to drop than they used to be. So before I used about 1,000 traps, and I got really unlucky. I didn't get an epic. I know some people use like 8,000 or something like that, but I came back to the game. I used 150 about, and I got my first epic pet. I got 2% Pierce on it too, so I'm super happy. So like, epic pets are 1/3 of your damage if you have just a plus 15 epic weapon. They're probably like 1/6 of your damage if you have over plus 10 legendary. I'm sort of just making that up, but sounds about right. So those are really important to get right away, and being able to get them faster means that the game's made much better. Now they've greatly reduced the meso cost for changing legendary gear attributes. So that was like a huge problem, I remember, is that pretty much your entire week went into one reroll on your legendary gear. So I don't know how much they've reduced it by, but that's just better. Greatly reduced the meso cost of fusing accessory fragments. That's a big thing too, because it was 500k before. Now I'm wondering if it's like 100k or something like that. I'm not sure, but that was one of my complaints when I was playing the game, because like, basically, like, it cost way too much for what it gave you, and like, this'll mean that it's cheaper to reroll, because you'll get one, you'll actually be able to pay for it. You'll reroll until the price of like what one would be to get another one, or even more than that. But you won't waste as much money doing that, because basically all these things are really important to get, and they were too hard to get before. And another thing is that they're getting rid of B4 now, so you're gonna rely on changing attributes on your gear and not on the scrolls that you get from that. Though you can still get the scrolls from doing like 7-man, 4-man chaos raids. So, but because it's so easy to change your attributes now, everyone's gonna be happy. So next thing is they've made accessory socket openings guaranteed and cheaper on average, which means that the average amount you would have had to spend before, it's cheaper than that, and it's 100% guaranteed. So everything you grind for is going to be like working towards something. And it's true of upgrading gemstones as well. They're guaranteed and much cheaper on average. And they also made extracting gemstones trivially inexpensive, which is like the best news for me, because I put a tradable gem on my main account, my heavy gunner, and I want to switch it to my striker, and I can do that now. And then they greatly reduced the cost of enchanting via Peachy, which basically means that like, you're not gonna get unlucky anymore. And I mean, you might get unlucky, Like, other people might get luckier than you, because the best way to do it is basically use Ophelia, stack up your fail stacks, get to around like maybe 50%, try your luck, and then go with Peachy from then on. Like, once you've used your fail stacks, you just use Peachy. And or you just do it up to like 11 and then use Peachy from then on, depending on like if you want to test your luck or whatever. So yeah, a lot of people are gonna get up to plus 15 quicker, basically, on average. And they've also replaced daily missions with a weekly prestige rank system, which is kind of like, I'm kind of sad that that went away, but I mean, you can still do the things that were on that. And this also kind of makes it more random what rewards you get, because before you'd get, like, for sure you get face fragments. So I'm not sure where you get those anymore. But there's this like stamp thing now where you can get a free beauty coupon package. So I think that's for every single, no, it's for every account. So you at least get free face eyes. I think it's not just choosing one. You get a free face eyes and like all that cosmetic stuff for your character. So yeah, the game's just basically the way everyone wanted it to be at the beginning, and now is the best time to come back into Maplestory 2, because you can prepare for whatever your account is, like, super easily now, and start doing the later game stuff and prepare for the next update, which is going to introduce level 60 dungeons. And like, you won't have to get more than a legendary plus 10, and you can get a legendary weapon from the airship now too, and a lot of people just get their legendary weapons from the airship. They've never done a CPAP, and you can get up to a plus 10 legendary weapon, which is all you're gonna need for level 60 hard dungeons. So yeah, Maplestory 2 is great again. We've made Maplestory 2 great again, and this was all part of the Project New Leaf thing. I don't know why they named it that. So that's sort of like, that sort of confuses it, right? Like, why don't you just say that the game's revamped like Final Fantasy XIV did, and like sort of re-release it? That's what I would have done, but I mean, it's fine. The game is better for people who play it, and that's the main thing that's important.